Good morning. It's Trisha from Easy Emini Trade. Hope you're all doing well. I just want to go over looking at different size charts because with the volatility or if we're in a holding sideways pattern, you can always use a larger time-based chart, range chart, tick chart, Renko chart, whatever it is that you trade. So I want to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So we're going to start out looking at ES on a 1-minute chart. So here's my cursor right here, my crosshair. So this is yesterday on ES. This is just before 10 o'clock. And you can see we're breaking the super trend stop here. This is on the 1-minute. And it wouldn't be valid because of our criteria here on our double stochastic. We're an overbought with that red line, so the short would not be valid. Here for the buy. Technically borderline valid because it looks like it was an overbought. So you could buy that, and then you would be looking at the area here to your left as a possible area where price would likely react, especially since the current high of the day is there. So you could see, looking at yesterday morning, it's just a lot of back and forth, back and forth. So you could be aggressive and trade shorting off resistance, buying off support, or you can wait for the actual setup. So this buy here, valid, looking at our stochastic down here. So we're valid, we could buy that, and we would be looking over here to the left for possible reaction and then the high of the day. So it's just the same thing over and over and over again. Whenever you're taking your trade, you're looking to the left to see where price is likely to react, especially when you don't have a strong overall trending move happening. Even though we might be doing a slow grind up, you can see all these bars are overlapping, right? You look to the left and all you see are price bars. So you can continue trading on the 1-minute or even the range chart, 4 range, 5 range, 6 range, whatever you like. But you can always use something bigger to quiet down the noise. Doesn't mean it's still not going to be sideways no matter how you look at it, but you'll have fewer opportunities, which also allows for fewer losses, right? So let's look at this on the 5-minute. You can see what I mean. So here is yesterday on the 5-minute. So looking at the 5-minute chart, realistically, this would have been the entry right here, getting above the super trend stop. Stochastics in line. Back here, where price was breaking the super trend stop, the stochastic was not in line to take that. So you could take it when it does get in line, which is, it is right here, breaking the super trend stop. So you enter in at, let's say, 64, 39.64, and then you can just stay in it. So you could see fewer opportunities, and it does require more patience waiting for the targets, but you won't be jumping in and out. So it's going to come down to your style. Do you want to take multiple entries, shooting for a couple points off the 1-minute chart, or do you want to take it off a larger chart and wait for the bigger targets? Only you can decide what's best for you. I actually have a second moving average on here. Just ignore that. That's the HMA. I'm testing something. Here we get this short right here, breaking the super trend. Technically, it's valid, right? So you could take that. It doesn't mean ignore what's going on to the left. You look over here to the left, and you can see that you've got this area of congestion right in this vicinity of 62.50. So taking this short right here when it breaks the super trend stop, that would at least have to be an area that you would want to recognize just because of the amount of time that it did spend in that area back here. You can see if you had the patience, you had a lot of back and forth still to sit through. It doesn't change that fact, but it does manage to eventually move lower and come down to an older area of support down here at 52.25, as well as the previous day's close here. And this would be the previous day's high here in green. So same concept, just fewer entries and more patience required. So you're not sitting through the back and forth. You could take it one step further. You could look at this on a 15-minute chart. And then here's another buy here. This is around 105. Buy is valid here. And you would take the buy, and you still could not ignore the fact that you have a lot of congestion over here to the left, right? So let's look at this on the 15-minute chart. So here's the 15-minute chart. So let's get to once we were open. So this is yesterday, and it's still not going to change the fact that a lot of sideways going on here, right? But you can see that it has fewer bars, obviously, because it's a larger time frame, which allows for fewer entries. Now, if I was going to do this off a 15-minute chart, I would probably wait for the close above or the close below. You don't have to. Obviously, you can test this out. But this buy with the super trend here, when you're trending this off a 15-minute chart, that's stochastic, not so important. So you could get away with just waiting for a close above the super trend stop without the stochastic agreeing, or close below without the stochastic agreeing. It's totally up to you. Test it, you guys. Don't take my word for anything. Test it for yourself. So here's a close above. You buy a tick above that, and then of course you still sit through. This is pre-market yesterday, but you still sit through a lot of back and forth. You can see here during regular trading hours yesterday, you would have never gotten a short to set up on the 15-minute chart if you were waiting for a close below that super trend stop. If you didn't want to wait for a close, you just wanted to take the break of the super trend stop to the downside, you can absolutely do that. And then you just look to the left, see where price was getting stuck, and you can get a pretty good idea of what you can use as your target. So don't be married to any one size chart or even type of chart. You can test things out, experiment, and see what's going to work for the current environment, because it is ever changing, you guys. Okay, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Hope you all have a great day.